California things. So I went ahead and I called corporate over the incidents that are happening recently, and once again solidified with the current management staff that any escalation on the part of that person who sent the vicious fucking kid toward my dog would be met with a swift phone call to the police. And that's how you handle it. I've already accepted the fact that these robots behind the desk, they're not going to get involved. They're not, because it's putting them at risk, it's putting their jobs at risk, it's putting everything at risk. And they don't want to take that risk. So I say, fine, well, I'm going to have to call the police. So I still have to wait to find out what was going on with my package being stolen in Saturday's delivery. So there's that. But I have to talk about how, like, the man of my dreams just showed up behind me, snuck up behind me as I was exiting the lobby. Like, really? The man of my dreams exited the lobby, like, right behind me. Like, he looks exactly like my video game character boyfriend in Dragon's Dogma. Like, I don't know how that happened, but he looks exactly like my Dragon's Dogma boyfriend, down to the curly hair, tall, big ass. Oh my god, his ass was just huge and massive and everything, and I loved it. Oh, good times, good times. I saw a dog in a locked car and there were no windows, like, rolled down, as far as I could see. I didn't get the license plate or anything, but check again within, like, 15, 20 minutes, because I care. So I'll glance over. I'm not going to be up in this person's business. That's just not my place. Like, maybe you do want your dog to be secure because you're going to be back within 5 minutes. But even so, 5 minutes to a dog in heat in a locked car, I just can't agree with that. I wouldn't do that. Like, you have to have air circulating, you have to have the temperature right. But yeah, maybe that's just me. But there was a lot of dog activity at this time. There was this poor woman with a German Shepherd, and every time she saw my dog, she went, "Oh Lord, oh Lord!" And she just went running in the opposite direction. She trying to, I don't know why, she was trying to get into the lobby, and she tried one way, and I was still there, and then she tried the other way, I was still there, and then she just got confused. She must have found another way up. Ciao Bella, Raquel Travasso 258. Welcome to the channel. It's been a rough one. It really has. Uh, PTSD aside, I recognize that I have PTSD, but there's a difference between dealing with the robots, which are management in a hotel, and dealing with regular people. Because regular people, they don't have a social security number tied to your building. So they can do and say whatever they want. There are very little consequences for them. I mean, you can call the police, but they can just walk out the door and not show up when the police are. Sure, they got stuff there, but it's not like the police is going to sit down and say, we'll wait. No, they don't do that. That's how that black woman escaped from justice the last time. Although, honestly, this is what I dislike about California. California is petty in a way that you can't do anything about, because no one's going to arrest a kid for trying to grab a service animal. But they would arrest me if my service animal said, I don't want to be grabbed by you. and you're being rough and I'm going to defend myself. They would arrest me for that. How is that fair? How? I don't want to put myself in that situation, so prepare your eardrums because I have a lot of mutant powers and you will receive Banshee next time. You will receive Banshee next time you bring a kid anywhere near me. I will scream like a Banshee. Matthew Burr 5126, you okay? No, man, I'm not. I'm pretty far from okay. I have PTSD from military sexual trauma, so I can't deal with people ever, ever again. And by the way, hi, welcome to the channel. Normally I talk about socialism, so let's just switch to that. I have been doing research and research and research, and as much as I'm enjoying having a maid, having some sort of breakfast thing waiting for me every single day, being in a nice location where I can walk outside and the air is fresher, more fresh, slightly fresh. And then on occasion, maybe I glance at some sexy people. Okay. But I have way too many issues. I have way too many PTSD triggers to really put up with this. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I want to be a farmer. I want to be a farmer, but I don't really want to be a farmer. I want to be a farmer because as a farmer, I can prepare my own meals and live a life that makes sense for me. If I can't deal with people, then why deal with them at all? If you know where your food comes from, if you know that you have solar panels to power a rocket ship, why would you need to engage with people at all? And also, I'm a socialist, so maybe I take what is my little hamlet and make it a town. Invite a few people and say, look, here's some land that's not exactly free, but the rent could be free and you can work towards something else. Maybe instead of having a job where you say, can I have fries with that? Or, do you need a refill on your soft drink? You say, okay, I just need you to dust off the solar panels and, then come back inside and play video games. That's all. That's your job. I like that. I like the idea that I might, in a way, be able to free other people because that's what life is for me right now. Life is freedom. I have my PTSD, but it's if I'm really being honest about it, I have PTSD for the moment that I'm triggered. Just like when I was trying to get on the elevator, a woman passed in front of me and it was super fucking close. And my PTSD was going off. But like I said, she kept it moving. She didn't touch me. She didn't talk to me. There was none of that good morning bullshit that I have to normally deal with. There was none of it. Like I've already done my quota of I have to. You see, that's the thing I don't like about California. California is of the mindset that, you know what, you have to talk to a female at least once a day and realize that you're not being sexually assaulted when you talk to women or when, women are around you. You have to realize that not every woman is doing that. And I say to myself, yeah, I thought that way in Los Angeles too. But then I would ride the bus and women would just grab my genitals. I sat down next to a woman in Long Beach because I said to myself, I'm not going that far. I don't have to talk to this woman. What's the worst that can happen? The worst can happen. She sexually abused me. She sexually assaulted me on the bus. I screamed, and these people look at me like, why is he screaming? Why is he? It's like I've just been sexually assaulted, and none of you said anything. None of you did anything, and I have this woman who is groping me on the bus. So I just got off the bus because the bus driver stopped it and was like looking around and everything. And I didn't even say anything. I should have, but I said, no, I'm going to call the police. I'm going to call the police because this is bigger than this individual person. And I called them and I let them know what happened and they never got back to me. So, like I say, I don't think every woman is out to sexually assault me. I'm just not going to give them opportunities to. Trust was broken. I have broken trust. I have trust issues. No, no. So there are people who have trust issues, and then there are people who have broken trust. People who have trust issues are people who's, they've been hurt before, but maybe it wasn't in a way that really makes sense. But like when your boyfriend or girlfriend cheats on you, you might be hurt by it, but then you also have to say that person really wasn't for you. Now you know. Wouldn't you like to know? Wouldn't you like to know that that person wasn't for you? As opposed to, you go to bed every night, you're cuddling, you say, I love you. You don't hear anything back, but you say it. And then one day you see them and they packed all their stuff up and they're out the door. Or they could just say, you know what, I cheated on you. We're not in love. Go find someone who's in love with you. Wouldn't you wouldn't you like that honesty? I would. Fuck. I've been in that position. Everyone has to be honest and say you've been in that position of you're just in a relationship and you just don't feel it. You don't. But you want to feel it with somebody else. That's that's trust issues. Broken trust is you had an experience that says I can never trust you again. Never. Because I'm not an idiot, I realize if I have money on the line, if I have a vested interest in making sure that things go smoothly, I'm going to have to suck it up and deal with some things that I normally wouldn't have to. But then why do I even have to deal with half this stuff? So, as much as I was supposed to be resting, relaxing, enjoying myself, I have to think about what I want in the future. So, yeah, I think I might become a farmer, raise some chickens, eat eggs every day, every dinner, every whatever, and just work out and play video games and I don't know, build that socialist utopia that I've always dreamed of. A town where you just barter. You barter for goods and you barter for services. How much is an apple? I don't know. How much is it for you to take an hour and irrigate some crops? That's how much it is. Or shit, I got a fucking couch to move from here to there. How much is that apple? Here's the apple. Now, you just did something that is so minuscule, but your body feels great afterwards, and you have an apple. That makes sense. The idea of money kind of disgusts me. It disgusts me because you take things for granted. You take the natural beauty of the land for granted. Hi, Paul. I'm welcome to the channel. That's all I have to say. Welcome to the revolution. I am a socialist. Talk about socialist issues, and I talk about this idea of the perfect town where there are no cars, there's no pollution. You barter instead of using money, but you can make money. I mean, people talk about, they have a home business. That's a really good thing. The idea that you can stay home nice and cozy and fuck it, make dolls or clothes or perfumes or whatever, but make that and sell it. Maybe you sell it in town. Maybe you sell it online. Maybe you sell it in the next town over. But you have an income and you get utility out of that too. Because don't you want to smell nice? Wouldn't you like to have your own original scent? I know I would. So I mean, I do. I'm a naturalist. I'm in so many ways. I'm like number one, I'm a nudist, and two, I okay. I guess the difference between nudism and naturalism is naturalists like to be naked in nature, and nudists like to be naked around other people. I don't mind being naked around other people. I just have to choose the people. And it's so sad that, like, if you go to most nudist colonies, it's mostly older people, but it takes that long for people to be free, to just not give a shit about what people have to say about their body. They just say, "This is my body, and I love it." Assalamu alaikum. Assalam Sayyid or Sayyidita. Mhm. Welcome to the channel. Marhaba. I'm glad that you're here because California is a desert. It really is. I look at San Francisco and they have the Folsom Street Festival event, but that's for maybe a weekend. A weekend where you can have a blowjob in the middle of the street and people just go, do I want my face near that so I can take a picture, or do I want to give the next blowjob? But why live like that when you can do that anytime? Why is San Francisco so insistent upon, oh yeah, you could be gay, but you could be gay when it's convenient for us, not when it's convenient for you, not when it's who you are. And that I can agree with because it almost feels like oppression when you say that the activities of Folsom Street can't be all year round. Because I like that idea that I think they probably block off the streets and like no children are involved. And it's just adult playtime. Adult playtime. I like the idea of adult playtime. Banish the fucking ankle biters and go get your dick sucked in public. Or go shake your ass, bare ass in fucking public. I want to do that. You speak Urdu. Um, I guess I do. I don't know. I'm a polyglot. I'm supposed to be a UN ambassador at some point in my life. But in order to do that, I have to leave America because America is just suppressing me. They're traumatizing me so I don't move internationally and then use all of my great designs for technology in a foreign country, which at that point, who the fuck cares? I mean, I'm a green energy innovator. There's just not enough of a market for that in America. But if I move to something like Scotland or Sweden, they would say, okay, well, we could put some of that to good use. We like green energy. We like the idea that we breathe air. And in America, they don't want to breathe air here. They don't care. They don't care that the air in their lungs doesn't sustain them. They don't see it as a problem. They don't understand that they've never taken a deep breath of air, ever. They don't know what fresh air is. They have no words for it, no concept of it. They say they're environmentalists. They say it. They don't mean it. They don't know what it means to live freely. I don't know. If I stayed here another month, I can't live like this. I have to make some changes and I have to be more politically active because I can't suffer a city that says your lungs don't matter to us. It's like, no, it should. And it's not the same as saying, well, let's just put electric cars and electric charging stations everywhere you go. It's more than that because all you're doing is putting more cars on the fucking streets and highways. You know what that does? It makes those other cars, the ones that are based on petroleum, idle for longer. Because if you're stuck in traffic, you're burning fuel. Nobody shuts the gasoline off when they're moving 5 miles an hour. Shuts their engines off, shuts their gasoline off. Oh my god. I'm not a car engineer. Clearly, I'm not a car engineer. I stick to electrical engineering for solar panels. But yeah, that's what life is. That is what life is going to be. I either have to become a farmer to get away from these people, to banish like all this bad energy from my life, or I'm gonna have to be like super fucking vocal and political here in San Francisco, or I'm just gonna have to fucking go to Europe and say I gave up. I didn't feel like I belonged in America. America and I do not disagree on some things, but the things that we do disagree upon are pretty fundamental. I don't disagree with America and some of their clamor for border control. I don't disagree with that. I think America should have tight borders. I think things should be manufactured here in America. I don't agree with pollution. So there's that. I'm going to keep it a little short for today because, like I said, I am just emotionally drained from yesterday. And then today, it was just peekaboo with dogs, just peekaboo with dogs. So, everyone have a good day. Oh, damn. This is Ian Iliona. I hope to see you on the next podcast.